Grand jury in Kentucky determined that 3 officers did not commit a crime when they entered Breonna Taylor's home after midnight, shot her 6 times, killing her. And this is what the Attorney General, Daniel Cameron, had to say about it. Take a look.
According to Kentucky law, the use of force by Mattingly and Cosgrove was justified to protect themselves. This justification bars us from pursuing criminal charges in Miss Breonna Taylor's death. The truth is now before us. The facts have been examined, and a grand jury comprised of our peers and fellow citizens has made a decision. Justice is not often easy. It does not fit the mold of public opinion, and it does not conform to shifting standards. It answers only to the facts and to the law.
Okay, so the grand jury did indict 1 officer for wanton endangerment for firing stray bullets that entered the apartment of Breonna Taylor's neighbor. And I think that's very funny that, you know, that they thought was really heinous, but shooting someone and killing them 6 times with bullets did not justify them finding any problem here. Sonny, can you walk people through all of this legal stuff so people can get an idea of the thought process?
It's actually a little difficult because I don't know that I understand the thought process and what was exactly presented to the grand jury, because as someone who has presented many cases to a grand jury, it seems to me that an indictment could have happened here against the officers because the prosecutor controls the narrative, controls the facts that are presented to the grand jury. But what happened here, Whoopi, it seems that 1 officer was indicted on 3 counts of wanton endangerment. And what that means is that a person engages in conduct which creates a substantial danger of death or serious physical injury to another person. What is interesting is that that relates to one of the officers shooting wantonly into a neighbor's apartment, a white neighbor's apartment. But that same, but other officers, and perhaps that officer also shot into a black neighbor's apartment, but that wasn't charged.
Right.
And also there were bullets that went into Breonna Taylor's apartment, and that wasn't charged. So I think what is happening here is that the charging document seems, and the investigation seems to be faulty. And it's no wonder that people are now uncomfortable with the process. And one other thing I want to mention is I was just looking into the background of the Attorney General. He has 0 criminal trial experience. And if you are to be the top prosecutor of a state, you have to have that kind of experience. And when I looked at this case and this indictment, it reeks of someone that doesn't have that experience. And his explanation yesterday, quite frankly, didn't make sense to someone like me who has this kind of experience.
Right. Sarah, what was your take on it when you heard it? Sure, Joy.
I was just going to speak to Sonny's one little point. Just a quick point. It seems to me that the system is not right. When the Attorney General or the district attorneys are the ones who are prosecuting the case, and they are very much beholden to the police because the police have to help them with other cases. So I think that in these situations, maybe a good idea would be to bring in a special prosecutor, because this has been happening too many times. You know, Michael Brown, Eric Garner, Tamir Rice, they were all killed by cops with no indictments. So something is wrong with the system. Also, I think that the juries are probably reluctant to go against the cops. So it's about the system. It has to be changed, and has to be changed now, immediately, unless they really want more violence in this country. Well, that's all I wanted to say.
Sarah?
Building off what Joy
Sarah, what's your
said,
take?
I think there's absolutely something wrong with the system, and for this reason. So we have to, in Breonna Taylor's legacy, make sure there are no more Breonna Taylors. But the way the laws are set up right now, this part blows my mind. These no-knock warrants, which I was not super familiar with before, are highly disturbing and legal. Now, they are no longer legal in Louisville as a result of Breonna Taylor's death, but I don't see how these ever work out well. You are sieging, announced or not announced, into someone's house at night, and you think about dogs barking, doors being stormed down, you're waking up disoriented, and you have a right to own a weapon in this country. There are more than 300 million weapons in the U.S. alone. So this is like a law versus a law. They legally get the right to storm your home, but what's also constitutionally protected is your right to own a firearm and protect your property and your life when someone's coming in like loudly in the middle of the night. Right. This has to change. And there are so many other parts of this, from qualified immunity to the fact that there weren't mandatory body cams in that kind of highly charged example. This is all disturbing. And I think until the laws, as Joy said, in the system are changed, we will end up with more innocent lives lost like Breonna Taylor's.
And the other thing I would like to mention
to people. Yeah. Go ahead.
The other thing I want to mention is the investigation seems to be somewhat faulty, because you have the officers saying that they knocked and that they did announce, even though it's a no-knock warrant. And you have only one witness out of 13 that says, yes, I heard the police knock and announce. But 12 other witnesses are saying, no, they didn't announce, including Kenny Walker, who was with Breonna Taylor inside the home. My question is, did Kenny Walker speak to this grand jury? Did he tell them that he didn't hear an announcement, that he didn't hear the police speak to them, and that he feared for his life? I want to know who testified in front of the grand jury, because the prosecutor is responsible for that.
Yeah, well, a lot of this is really questionable, and this is what I'm going to recommend to people, because this is so infuriating. I want everybody who can hear my voice, everybody who hates what happened, I want y'all to say, you know what? We're going to keep ourselves in our house, go about our day-to-day. We're going to do what we need to be doing because we don't want to get arrested. But you're going to hear from us. The nation is going to hear from everybody who's pissed about this on November 4th. You want to make the change? You really want the system to change? You know what needs to be done. It's great. It's protest. As you see, people are coming at you for being a protester, for executing your right to do this. They're coming for you. So you know what? Let them come, let them go and do whatever they need to do. On November 3rd, go do what you got to do.